If I told you the things I've seen on my ways, if I told you the things I've done in my days, you wouldn't believe me anyway. So it's best I just don't say. I've lived 1,000 lives, I've piloted 1,000 souls, I killed and fought and died just for a single role.
Hello.
Hello!
This is One Shot Saturday. I am Kimmy, your GM, and today I'm running this game called Decuma. I don't know if you've ever heard of it. It was created by a fairly talented, pretty person who has good hair. And today's going to be a little bit different. For One Shot Saturdays, generally we play the game. There's some chat interaction, but we don't really let it affect the game. Today, if you have questions about how to play Decuma, or as we're going, we are actually going to be answering questions on stream, because this game is a brand new game. It's been on our channel a couple times, but it is also kickstarting right now, which is a pretty vital thing that I should say. And it is now 200% funded as of sometime in the night when I was asleep. It's very exciting.
So that means if you join now, you're going to get something.
Not only gonna get something, but get something that was even more awesome than the awesome that it originally was going to be.
Right. So originally we were going to have like the Major Arcana drawn and like what we call a pip deck where there's like 3 swords for the 3 of Swords card. But now we've hit our $20,000 goal. That was our 4th stretch goal. We're now working on our 5th stretch goal. So now Samantha is going to draw all the individual cards, all 78 cards individually. So we're very excited about that. She's on vacation in Iceland right now, and she was really excited. She's like, yeah! So hopefully she comes back with lots of cool, inspirational images in her head. And yeah, these are my players. Let's start with this way.
Hi, I am Pooja. I'm going to be playing Decuma today.
Yeah. Hi, I'm Dave, and I also will play Decuma and find out who I'm playing.
Find out who we're going to want to play and never actually play.
Yes.
Right, which is the double-edged sword of this game. Hi, I'm Joey, and I am also playing Decuma today.
And we have Jim, who may be joining us. You know, life is complicated and gets in the way of gaming a lot.
That bastard. Life.
So, yes, we're getting our first questions in. So, first thing, Decuma is a tarot card-inspired world creation game. You do not have to know anything about tarot to actually play. You don't feel like you have to know everything. All the stuff you need to know is right on the card. So if you know nothing about tarot, you can still do a great job, make a great game with Decuma. Dave is...
I don't know anything about actually tarot cards, what they mean, nothing.
No, but you do a great job playing this game.
Yeah, I'm not concerned.
Yeah. So basically there are 3 types of cards that we've split the tarot deck into. There are the red cards in the back. They also have suns on them for those people who have trouble differentiating color. We have the blue cards that have stars on the back. And then we have the purple cards which have the moon on the back. And each type of card creates a different thing. The red cards create the sun cards create character connections. The star cards, the blue ones, create location details and cultural aspects. And then the purple cards are the major arcana cards in the tarot deck, and they create world dynamics. So what is the party's reputation? Who owes us money? Who do we owe favors to? Things like that. And basically you just flip over the cards as in a certain order. And there is a question that is facing you, and all you have to do is read that question, and you and your group answer that question. One of the first questions in the chat right now, from Hard Bushido, you mentioned in previous actual play that if the card was upside down, it meant something. Could you explain? Yes, in tarot, when you're actually reading the cards, a card that is inverted or upside down means something different than if it's facing right side up. Again, you don't have to know any difference because in Decuma, there's two questions on each card. They're facing opposite directions. You just simply read the question that is facing you. So you'll have one that's upside down at the bottom of the card, and you have one at the top of the card that's facing you, and you read that one. Or if it's flipped the other way, it's the bottom of the card at the top, the question that's facing you. And it switches up the meaning of the card. For example, one of my favorite examples of this is there's one card that, if it's facing one direction, says your group talked your way out of a situation. Where if it's inverted, it's your group fought your way out of a situation. So it just is like little tweaks. It is tied in with the meaning of the tarot card. So if you know the meanings of the tarot card, it's like an Easter egg, exciting. But if you don't know anything, it's fine. You just read the question. So, all right.
Still exciting.
Still exciting.
And maybe this is the gateway drug that teaches you something about the meanings of the tarot cards.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. And Mac, who is a professional tarot reader, she actually is like, yeah, actually, like, the questions are kind of a good guide that really kind of are like, hey, if you don't actually know anything about what this card means, you could actually kind of do your own reading based on the questions. And just kind of pulling from it. Like, obviously, you're not like, well, how did you fight your way out of a situation? Like, don't read it directly. So,
in your future, you will fight your way out of a situation.
do people want to help me shuffle?
Sure.
Sure. I'm going to mute myself.
Excellent.
Oh, that's a good
Sorry,
idea.
yeah, I should do
That's
that.
the best idea.
That's the other reason I was like, I should not shuffle these cards because it was really loud.
I'm not going to do that.
Okay, that's totally fine.
These are so nice. I don't want to mess them
They're
up.
fine.
No,
yeah.
I can't bend them.
And if you do happen to see any of the cards on camera, these are just the prototype cards from before, so these do not reflect the actual artwork that is going to be happening on the new decks of cards. To see that, you can go to goldenlassogames.com/Kickstarter. There's a bunch of images of cards, of upcoming artwork that Samantha's done, and it's very exciting, and they're very pretty.
Very pretty.
Oh, so
I'm
pretty.
muted. You can't hear me.
Whatever. I'm that tiny voice in the back of your head telling you they're pretty.
Yeah. So,
Same voice tells you to keep buying dice.
yeah.
Maybe.
All right. Thank you.
It's nothing you didn't want to do anyway.
Okay, that's true.
Awesome. And again, it is just one deck of cards. I just am terrible at shuffling, and my mic can't be muted the ways that theirs can. So, all right. So the first thing we need to do, as when we're actually playing, is we generally, if you're playing a campaign, you're going to come to the table knowing you're playing D&D or Kids on Bikes or whatever it is. So we should probably decide as a group what our quote campaign it was going to be, what system, and like what kind of setting we were wanting to play.
I have trouble deciding this in real life, so I don't.
No.
So many options. So most of you who buy Decuma will skip this step because you'll already know, and you'll have a GM who's like, "Hey, we're playing Traveler," and it'll be really easy.
Or if you are in like that subset of the population that just loves creating things, like doing that first part of the game over and over again.
Yeah, then you can just do that.
Urban Shadows.
Urban Shadows. Okay, we'll be playing Urban Shadows, which is a PBTA game. Urban horror fantasy
Okay.
type. Okay.
That's good.
Kind
Funny
of-
thing about it, I've never got
Kind of
that.
like World of Darkness, but PBTA style.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
And
okay.
a lot of politics between different like monster factions and things like this.
Okay.
Monster of the Week is like you're fighting monsters. Urban Shadows is like you are the monsters.
Dig it.
So yeah,
Yeah, there's. I just thought it was cool with like you owe or you like they owe you. There's a debt system in Urban Shadows
Yeah.
that I find interesting,
yeah, it's very cool.
and the city is very important.
So that helps us then do the next part. So we're going to be playing Urban Shadows, which is like urban horror stuff. The next thing we need to kind of decide on is our tone that we want for our game. If this was our campaign, then this would be a little bit longer discussion about like agreements and probably safety tools and what we really were looking for in this game. You know, do we want something really gritty and deadly? Is our tone going to be, more Blade, more Buffy the Vampire Slayer, more like what are we looking for? So what do you think? What would you prefer?
I came up with the last thing.
Well, honestly, I could go either direction. Like,
Yeah.
I like gritty, horrible horror.
Let's go gritty. Let's go real gritty. Let's
Okay.
go. Let's lean into
Okay.
that. That'll be fun.
Okay, so like serious, like gritty, not
Yeah.
horror because we're the monsters, but
Right.
yeah,
Well, no, it's still,
That's
it's
still.
still horror. Yeah, okay,
we might not be horrified, but it's horrifying.
it's horrifying. Absolutely nice. Question from Trent's Kitty. Sorry. Can we get examples of the map that we get if we back at the $75 level? I don't have examples of that yet. Samantha's in Iceland. So what's going to happen is at the $75 level, you get a pad of papers that have a bunch of different outlines. There's one that we've made that's like a spaceship outline that is completely and totally not based on Firefly. And like there's one that's like the outline of like a house that you can then very easily morph into like a castle if you want to do something. Because we've done haunted house stories where we used the location cards to make an actual haunted house with just different rooms and spooky stuff in the house. There's going to be one that's more generic that can be like a kingdom and things like that. So we're going to have a big variety of those. And then also you're going to get this awesome thing that was Dave's idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's very
'Cause
excited.
I will tell everybody now, and you'll see in a minute when we get to the part where we start adding things to the map collectively. Things that I draw will look horrific. I mean, that's good for the tone.
I was about to say.
But when I'm trying to draw, a person picking an apple, they end up having crazy Slender Man arms because I put them too far from the
You
tree.
just go full John Carpenter.
Yeah,
on
it's
us.
real bad. Just because of my poor art skills. So I was like, if maybe there was just something that I could print out and people could cut little pieces and put on the map instead, that's awesome because other people do art way better than me.
It's like the paper doll version of maps.
Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah.
So we're gonna have like sheets with a whole bunch of different options. There'll be like a little graveyard, all these things, mountains, a little river, things like that. You can add to the map, a bridge that you can cut out and paste down. Right now we have 2 pages unlocked of that, and that's just kind of like generic artwork. But our next stretch goal, which is 22,000, which we're on the way to. It's exciting. Is sci-fi and specifically horror themed pages, extra pages of those. So, yay, more stuff.
Get to it because I don't want to draw sci-fi stuff either.
Yeah,
Everything in sci-fi doesn't look like dicks and boobs.
Yeah.
Everything.
everything.
I mean,
Everything.
by design, I think.
Well, I'm not complaining.
No.
I'm just making an observation.
Yeah. So if we hit that 22,000 mark, it'll be like you have Samantha there drawing your map for you, which is usually my plan. But all right. So we're going to go ahead and. I'm sorry. We have one more thing. So we're going to be making a city because that's kind of how Urban Shadows lends itself to, and it will be an urban city since it's Urban Shadows. And the other thing that we need to agree on, obviously we're using the X cards, but we each need to have at least an idea of what we want our characters to be. So for Urban Shadows, there's a bunch of different monster types, playbooks, pretty much. There's like vampires, like ghosts, the different things like that. So if you want to
There's like the
think about
fae.
them, yeah, there's fae.
Okay, that was me my question. Like, can I play
Yeah.
a fae? 'Cause
Yes,
I'm
you
gonna-
can.
If I'm going to play a fae, I'm going to play a fae.
So yeah, if you can come up with a basic type, like it will fit into a playbook of Urban Shadows, pretty much.
They're like
Character name.
necromancers.
Yeah, there's magic users. So I don't remember exactly what that book is called, but that's close enough.
I'm going with the necromancer.
Okay, there you go.
I'm going to play Spectre, which
Okay.
is a ghost.
A ghost, yeah.
I'm going roll fae.
Fae. Okay, nice. So come up with characters, a sentence or two of backstory, and then we can get going.
Names are hard.
Names are so hard. They're always the hardest part.
Since we are interacting with chat today, does chat want to come up with my name?
Yeah, people want to come up with names in the chat.
Do it.
Please help me here. We could be here all day.
My name is Spectre. I am a Spectre.
I am a Spectre.
Spectre McSpecface.
I love as we're coming up with names, that's when Dave pulls out the big thing of beer.
I know.
We gotta start somewhere.
It's the
It's 3:25 somewhere.
Nice.
Chet kind of wants to know, like, do we know, like, what area of the world our city's in? Because that might influence naming.
Yeah. Well, we'll figure that out when we start playing. Why don't we get your character set first?
Sure.
It's a global kind of environment. Mm-hmm. Give me your Spectre McGhostface.
Irelia. Irelia.
Irelia. Thank you. That's a good one.
Nice.
Last name?
Oh.
They're suggesting Dave, a necromancer who works for the police as a medical investigator or coroner.
Okay. Yeah, that's fine. That's different than what I was starting to think, but I like it.
Okay.
So, cool.
The Fae for Simon Underhill
Oh, that's so much better than what I was going with.
is what Madison suggests.
Madison, I will take that suggestion. I love that.
I think my Spectre was a undercover cop who got killed on the job.
Nice. Okay.
I think my Fae was a club promoter. Making deals, getting people where they needed to be.
Was or is?
Is.
Okay.
Is.
I'm the only dead person here.
You can speak in past tense.
You could have a new job.
Yeah, no, that's what I was asking. Have you moved on? Are you a stockbroker? What are you now?
You know.
There's only one way to get out of club promotion.
Just when you thought you were out, they bring you back in.
There's a set of cement shoes waiting for you.
Dance floor foundations don't lay themselves.
Now just imagine a telltale heart that just thump, 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 thump.
Nobody hears it.
Right? It's the perfect crime.
The crystal of Amontillado.
Yes! Oh, Lord.
I want this to be where my body is.
All right. Fantastic. So yeah, like I said before, if you're actually running a campaign, you'd come to Decuma with character at least ideas. You can come with completed character sheets. Like if you have your players like stat out everything and come with backstories, that's fine too. But since this is a one shot for demo purposes, we're coming up with it on the fly. You do not have to come up with it on the fly when you start Decuma. Does the Spectre know she's dead?
Yes.
Okay.
That was not a peaceful,
Got it.
go in your sleep kind of way.
Okay.
But I kind of wanted to be that my cover wasn't blown.
Okay. So were you well, here, this is part of the game. You're jumping ahead, chat. Thank you. We appreciate you. All right, so now next thing we do is we hand out the cards.
Woo.
So we start off with handing out 2 of the sun cards to each player. And these are the character connection cards. They do not look at them yet.
Good with waiting.
Yeah.
I didn't look, I just spun one around.
And then we hand out 2 of the star cards, which are the location cards. They also do not look at those. And then finally, we hand out the World Dynamics cards. Each player gets 1 of these. And then the GM, me, I get 5 of these.
Why is sticky?
I think that it was on this table here.
Yeah, there was a towel on the table when I came in. I don't know if there was an oopsie.
Awesome.
Horrible
Sticky.
tea accident.
Build something.
A Jesus P accident.
For class. Nothing but class here.
I mean, he turned water into wine, so.
It's
All
a
right.
party.
And then the wine and the pee.
Somebody did that. I don't know if you did. All
Many,
right.
many people.
Many people helped with that part. Explaining also, the X card has multiple functions in Decuma. We really like normalizing the use of it. Yeah, Decuma actually has like a pretty X card that comes with it. But yeah, we also have X cards all over the table. So you can use an X card in Decuma if you don't like a question. And that can be anything from like, hey, we kind of already covered this when we talked before, or it doesn't match my character well, or this is just boring, I want something more interesting. So you can exit, no questions asked, and then just get a card of the same type, and then flip that over instead and answer that question. You can also tap an X card if we're starting to go in a direction that you're not comfortable with or you're just bored with, and that can be anything from, hey, my mom's name is Sally, could we not name the prostitute Sally, to, literally, to the things that make you more uncomfortable. And you do not have to explain yourself. If you tap the X card, we all take the cue that, okay, let's go in a different direction with this question.
Stu, please stop naming the NPCs after people I work with.
Maybe, can we come up with a
How
name
many
other than
Abigails do you work
Abigail?
with?
I was about to say, pray that they never hire an Abigail.
Like Abigail for everything.
Because immediately you're going to be like, I don't trust her.
Yeah.
or she's gonna come to some kind of like grisly end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're playing
Or
Cthulhu,
both.
so.
Just don't spend any time with them, because it's a ticket
It's a
to
lost
bad.
cause. It's a lost cause.
Yeah. All right. Great. And as we do the location cards, we'll be drawing things on our map. So if you're watching this, you'll be able to see our fantastic artwork. If you're not, then just know how fantastic it is in your hearts. Because
Just
it is.
listen to the podcast.
Yes.
Follow your heart. Don't follow what we.
Yeah. And that's a really important part of Decuma because all of us have run games where it was theater of the mind. And it does not have to be, it's not going to be like a perfect battle map. You're not going to be counting out, hexes or whatever. But everyone just then has reference points and knows where things are. Oh, we know the saloon is at the end of the street, and we know the docks is over there. And, I think we've all run games or played in games in the past where people were like, oh, yeah. There's one I was running once that was a high school. That was and I got a third of the way through the game, and then we were all just talking about this fight, and all of us, and I realized all of us were picturing our own high school, which was really different. So it helps just to have everybody know and have similar reference points for the game, for your campaign. All right. Well, why don't we go around and have you each share out the basics of your character, just so the listeners and viewers can understand and appreciate your amazing creativity.
Awesome. Well, sorry.
No, it's fine.
I'm a specter named Aurelia, who was an undercover cop, and I was killed while on the job, but my cover was not blown.
Interesting.
So now I got unfinished business.
I like it.
Yeah.
I'm going to play a necromantic magic user named Alder Broth. He was raised in a small, magic homeschool situation.
Oh.
And, this is his first gig out of medical school.
Okay.
To be an ME for the local jurisdiction of law enforcement.
Nice. Very good.
I am playing the Fae Simon Underhill, who is a club promoter who enjoys collecting the hottest acts in the city, kind of under his thrall, because if he can't make a name for his own, he'll just take yours.
Nice. And just a reminder, because we've had some people join the chat, we are setting up a campaign for Urban Shadows. It's a PBTA game that is urban modern horror, but we are the monsters.
That we do not have a book for in front of us, so
Yeah.
Bear with us.
we're doing things that we remember. Yeah. Mostly.
Well, and that's the cool thing too, because Decuma is system agnostic. It's fine. It doesn't really matter that much as long as the players have picked types of characters or and set up their characters in a way that work with the system. All right. So the first thing we do is we start turning over our character connection cards, which are the red ones with suns on the back. And it doesn't really matter what order we do this in. The GM will always go last at the end of the round. So does anyone want to go first?
Sure.
Okay, Dave, thank you for being brave.
I did something to help blank get ahead. What did I do?
So for character connection cards, they have blanks in them, and it's expected that you fill that blank in with another player character.
Yeah. I
know
just
you know,
read
but-
it to...
Yes.
Let's see. Well, I feel like we have that sort of law enforcement-y connection.
Yeah.
So... Did you show up when I was dealing with your remains?
Are you the reason I'm a specter?
I don't know how that works in the rules of this
Neither
game.
do I.
But sure.
So that's
Is
what
that
it is
cool?
now.
So I brought your spirit back to get vengeance.
Nice. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Nice.
I dig it.
All right, Joey.
Yeah.
They're writing things down, so why don't you flip over a card?
All right. You think that Blank will cut and run if things got risky. I kind of think that's Alder. I think you have a clear mission. I have what I think is a clear mission. I don't know if I know everything about you or what your deal is, and I'm trying to get a read on that. And your magics and stuff is kind of odd to me. I don't fully understand where you're going, so I think that little bit of not distrust but like apprehension comes from that.
I'm a young guy, also not super worldly. That's kind of the character I was going for. So yeah.
If you
Like-
peel too much back, you might be like, "I'm out."
Well, yeah, like something crazy happens, I'm gonna be like, no, that's not my job.
They don't pay me for this.
Cool.
I'm only 40 years from retirement.
You and Blank are working together on something important. What is it? Whereas we could have the obvious, like, law enforcement connection, I kind of want it to be with Simon that there is, like, a, someone is trying to steal your axe from you. And it was that person is part of the same, like, criminal ring that I was infiltrating, or was part of when I was killed. So, like, I'm helping you root that person out and destroy them.
I like that plan. Yeah, let's do that. That's super cute.
Destroying them, super cute.
I mean,
When we do it, it'll be super cute.
Yeah, I believe you.
I have a feeling like your original death is probably the thing that brought our group together.
Yeah, maybe.
Oh,
Like
totally.
it maybe happened outside of his club, and so then I had to show up and deal with the situation, and then
Which is a great thing. At the end of each round, like this was, everyone's flipped over one card of the character connection type. So it's the end of a round. So this is when the GM flips over one of their World Dynamics cards. They work exactly the same way. So I just ask the question of the group that is facing me, and we collaboratively answer this one. Like on the other cards, the players kind of are the facilitators. So you'll notice some people are like, "Oh, I have an idea. Let's do this," and then everyone consents. And then some people are like, "Hey, what do you think?" And then some people bat it around. You can do either one. There's no right or wrong way. But for the group dynamics cards, for the GM's cards, it's expected that the group collaborate together. As the GM, like, you can definitely throw out ideas and participate, but it's not like railroad opportunity. It's like, let's create something together that will bond us. So this one says, our group supports a set establishment. Who are they and why do we support them? And in Urban Shadows, there are a bunch of like political things. So like the dark beings and monsters and stuff all have different kind of clans and affiliations that then work together politically or not, or at war and things like that.
Yeah, there are definitely different like factions that are.
Yeah.
I don't remember what any of them are off the top of my head, so
Right.
yay.
I kind of like the idea of us supporting the current, whatever the current regime is as far as who's kind of running things, in the vein of like the W knows better than W don't. So I don't know if we want to decide who that is at this point, but
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense too
yeah.
that we would support the current political power, seeing as they have our jobs at their hands.
right.
Your job.
So like actual human politics, like the mayor, or like politics in the monster world?
I was thinking more politics in the
Like
monster
a
world.
Yeah.
monsters
Okay.
Congress.
Like if it's, like Council of Vampires running things, like maybe we throw in with them because you know what, we not necessarily like what they do, but we know what they're going to do. They're predictable, as opposed to like let's support these renegade werewolves or whatever. Like we don't know what they're going to do.
Werewolves.
Ugh.
Who can predict them?
Right.
Okay. So a big group of vampires who are kind of running the city at the moment? Okay. What's
Yeah.
the name of their leader? Jack can help with that.
I was about to say, chat, come
Chat.
rescue us.
Help us, chat.
chatting about things. We'll see if a name comes up in a second. And as the GM and other players too, you if you've played For the Queen or things like that, feel free to like ask follow-up questions. Like, what is their name? Like, it says who are they and why do we support them? And you can be vague about that if you want some creative control as the GM. If you don't want to come up with names like me, you can then throw that on your players and make them do that. Or the chat. Victor Winehurst.
Dig it.
Thanks, James.
I'm going to take a slight change on it and Viktor.
Victor.
Victor. Very nice.
Winehurst, you said?
Winehurst, yeah. WHINEHURST. So wine.
Okay.
You know.
And
And,
thanks.
and
That one
surprise
wasn't a change for me. That one was actually typed that way.
The
Oh, okay.
surprise you.
Oh, I thought that was just you implying, like, oh, yeah, they're whiny.
No,
Like,
well-
wine.
Well, also, yes.
Yeah.
Sure.
I thought that was your spin on it, and I liked it.
Yeah.
But I like it from James that sent it in.
So the
That's the original version.
so the renegade werewolves call him Victor McSuck Wine or something. No, that did not
Sure.
work out. I think it was supposed
Yes,
to be
and.
sucky McWineface.
Ah.
Was actually what was supposed to come out of my mouth.
Nice. Yes. I like that. I like that they're just really bad at insults. And like,
You're dumb.
Well, hey.
Stop
face.
sucky
They're werewolves,
wine
not swearwolves.
facer.
Yeah. Okay. So we're not doing great with the gritty, evil tone here, but we're
Oh,
working on it.
sorry.
It's
No,
okay.
it is.
No,
it
no.
is. The tone of the world, but we're
The
going to
wo-
laugh about
Yeah,
that.
we're gonna
Yeah.
laugh about it
Because
Very
we're
good.
the monsters.
Yeah.
And we laugh in the face of horrifying, terrible things.
They also say whiny Victor.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Very
That's
good.
better than mine.
All right, so we finished our first round, which is character connections. So this round is actually about working on our location. So generally what happens is you start with something on the map by the GM. Like for a lot of times I'll start with like an outline. If we're doing like a Wild West town, it's like, here's the road through the middle of town, or like just one kind of like iconic thing to set some boundaries and some bait, and to kind of kick everything off. So if you give me the map, we're drawing in a big green Sharpie today, so hopefully you can see it on camera if you're watching on the camera. Again, if you're
Sharpie's
sorry,
Sharpie was like, no.
Sharpie was not cooperating for a moment. If you are listening, just just imagine the Monet that this is going to be. This is the outline of our city. Ta-da! I managed to not make it look like a penis. That's victory number one. It just... Okay, I don't want to know. I don't want to know, Dave.
No, it's like, this is like a mouth, and like, it's like a monster choppy.
Yeah. Or a weird
Eyeball.
high-heel shoe. Okay. Nice. All right, so this time we're going to
The Ultra Clog City.
yeah. So this time we're going to flip around, and we're going to do our blue star cards. And these cards can set up anything from, like, actual physical locations, like there's a store here or a high-rise building, to NPCs, somebody owns something, and we'll add them to the map as well. Or it can be, like, character things, like slang terms they use in this place. So, since it's an urban city, that'll probably be something kind of comparable to what we have. But if you're making like a generation ship and you're 6 generations out from Earth, you have to make up some cool new slang terms and things like that people use, because they'll probably change a bit in that time. So let's start with somebody else this time. Pooja, why don't you flip over one of your location cards?
Called out. Someone in our location is richer than all others. Who? What rumors have you heard about them? I think that, so, what do we have here? Like, there's, I'm trying to think of what mystical creatures. You know what I think would be real fun? Is we have like a Dr. Frankenstein type analog person. It's not actually, Frankenstein or whatever, but he is, and she has come from like great wealth, like generational wealth. The family has been in the city for a really long time, and she went into this medical profession, but like went a completely different direction. So the rumors that we've heard about them or about her are that she is like coming up with like science that verges on magic. So she's actually creating like her own kind of new blend of magic.
Interesting.
I think. I don't know. Does that sound good to everyone?
Yeah, it works for me.
With her great wealth and all of her technology. And she's got kind of a like a compound towards the outskirts of the city. So I'm gonna make it kind of large.
Chat's like on the ball with this one. They're suggesting Braun Adamson.
Love it.
She's giving me very much like a Doctor Doom kind of vibe, which I love.
Yes.
Here for it.
Yes.
For a very long time, I've said if I ever come upon some immense amount of wealth, one of the things I want is like a 25-foot statue of myself with fire eyes.
Yeah.
Just somewhere on my property.
So,
Just so people driving up, I can turn on the flame eyes and have a speaker and a camera so I can see them.
Nice.
so
Scare
Braun,
people. Like,
That'd
good
be
for
a-
Halloween kids.
right?
Yeah.
Adamson.
That'd be a great like
Adamson.
ring feature.
Yeah.
estate.
Okay.
Da, da, da.
And I'm gonna.
Hello.
It's like a little like statue.
No one gets in to
Person.
see Dave. Not no way, not no how.
Like, imagine somebody comes to the door trying to. Can
She's
we
holding
install
a
solar
beaker.
panels on your house? And they're ringing the bell and flame eyes. Just come on. You dare awaken me with your offer of
It's a
cheaper
flaming
electricity.
statue now. There we go.
Yeah.
Nice.
Sherby's real thick.
All right. Joey, why don't you go next?
All right,
gonna
let's
like
do this one. What resources are squandered in our location? What do we use them for? I think magic is the resource, and I think that it's something that we thought was a self-fulfilling resource, like it's always going to be there, and recently it's starting to deplete. And so I think it's something that we use a lot for common amenities and things of that nature, but it's starting to wane.
Ooh, that well's dried up.
Yeah, exactly.
Magic drought.
Which is maybe why or how Braun's also kind of coming to more wealth, is she's offering, well, you can't use magic, well, here's the next best thing. It doesn't rely on magic, but it's just like magic.
Or, oh, cool. Also, so if she is working on a way to refill the well, and then she would control the kind of like, it's like when someone
How
controls
much
the power
magic?
grid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or maybe she's the one draining the well.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So I think I'm going to draw, to symbolize that, some kind of... So there's going to be like a little park, kind of in this... I don't want to do it in like the center, because that's going to take up... fuck it. Do it in the center. So
Well, I think
almost
like
like...
the font of magic is something that would be central.
Yeah.
Right, that
makes
was my
sense.
thought.
Yeah.
But I think there's some kind of statuary, almost like a monolith or a pyramid type situation, like some kind of statue in the middle of a park, and that's kind of going to be the font of magic, and that's like the power source.
Like it. I like it a lot.
A magic well, why not? We'll do that.
Cool.
All right. There's the werewolf
werewolf.
packs.
Yep. Yes, James B. almost
Sucky
left the central
McWhiner
part.
head.
Yeah. Nice. All right, Dave.
What is a negative turn of phrase that is used in our location?
Maybe there's something specific to just monsters that we use, like in the monster community, we've developed our own slang terms.
Sure.
Maybe in some way referring to someone as being mundane or mortal.
Yeah, that's
Oh.
kind of what I was thinking. Is like some term for the humans.
Mm-hmm.
Fodder. Yep, 2 on the nose.
Trying to come up with something good. Maybe we call them chaff.
Ooh, I like it.
Okay.
Like we are the wheat because
They
we're
are the
better
chaff.
and they're the chaff.
I like
I
it.
love that.
Very nice.
I don't know what I'd put on the map for that.
You can put a location that's like a chaff hangout or bar.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Or you
yeah.
can add some graffiti somewhere, like some monsters have graffitied a wall somewhere about the chaff. There's lots of different things. Or like a part of the city that's like the chaff hunting ground, like where a lot of the vampires or werewolves. It's easy pickings.
I think I'm going to put in something for you.
No.
A fancy chaff nightclub.
Yes.
Nice. Is it a crown on the top?
Sure.
Okay.
It was just supposed to be something fancy.
Oh, it is fancy. It's
But
nice.
yeah, it's
That's
a crown
the
is cool.
fanciness.
That's
Yeah.
yeah.
Excellent. Very good. All right. So that was the end of our location round. So I'll flip over another card. We are trying. What are we trying to change in our location, and why? So there's something in our group that we want to change about our location, the city, and why do we want to change it? We can also X that card if you feel like we've already kind of answered that because we know that magic is waning. Like, obviously.
Yeah, that seems like the other thing that we would, because especially the two of us are going to rely a lot on that.
I kind of rely on that to exist right now.
Oh yeah.
So.
I like being here.
I mean, I wouldn't go that
Well,
far.
I wasn't sure if it was like you needed to sustain magic to stay around, or if it was like a one and done.
I do now.
Cool.
So we're Xing that card. We're getting a new one. It says, "How did our group first meet, and what went wrong?" So this is an example of those cards where it's inverted, it's upside down. If it had been right side up, then it's like, how did our group first meet, and what went right? So fate has determined that something went wrong for you.
Well, I liked your idea of like we all came together at the scene of my death.
Well, maybe your death is what went wrong.
Yeah, I like it.
Oh.
Like maybe we were all kind of like working together, trying to solve something, or you were trying to. Yep.
Well, since we are working together to like get rid of your opposition, we had a meet scheduled. But when you got there, I was dead.
They got the drop on you.
Yeah. And then, or someone did.
I kind of like the idea of, like, I finally got this job and I'm getting paid and I'm going to go out and see the city, so I try and go to the club. And this happens.
Okay, yeah.
And, like, the turning you into a specter was, like, an emergency response thing. Like, I was just like, I'm a doctor! Oh, God! I am so sorry.
So,
I love that.
so you're like a necromancer who thinks he's just a really good EMT.
Yeah. Yeah.
Homeschool. Gotta love it.
Yeah.
In this world,
Yeah.
I mean, I realize that there are plenty of great homeschool situations here.
No,
Don't at me.
And it was never an intention to imply that it was a bad thing. It
Right.
was just that he hasn't had exposure to kind of nightlife and stuff. That's
Oh no, that's great though, because like, you come across my corpse and you're like, oh crap, like right as you come by.
sure, yeah.
Or the other way around, actually. You find my body and you're like, I will make this right.
Or maybe he was just nearby when the hit took place.
Yeah.
And the
then-
Hippocratic Oath.
Mm-hmm.
I like that. I think maybe that happened at the Chaff Club. Because it's kind of neutral ground.
Okay.
Yeah. I like it.
I really dig that. That's super fun.
Nice. I like that a lot. All right. So we've now done one round of character connection cards and one round of location cards. So we've started seeing things appear on our map. We're starting to get reference points. We're starting to know each other a little bit more as characters and how we originally met, things like that. So now we move on to our second round of character connection cards, so our red ones with the suns on the back. Dave went first last time for the character connections. Has everybody gone? Oh, Joey, you haven't gone first yet.
No, we're doing suns. Okay.
Again, you can go in any order. If you like starting with the same person every time, you can do that too. But I'm a teacher, so I keep people on their feet. Gotta pay attention.
Blank harmed you once, but they don't know you realize it was them.
That's some noir novel shit, right?
Right?
Yeah. Well, also, like, cards like this, it's great to, like, read into it however you want. So it's like, it could be physical harm, sure, but it could be, like, financial harm. It could be, emotional harm. It could be so many different things. So don't be afraid to, like, when you look at the cards, read, like, different layers into them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like in a masks game, it could be like, mini broken heart.
Absolutely.
Or big broken heart.
Started a rumor that hurt their chances in student elections or whatever in masks.
Catfished, yeah.
Yeah. Oh.
Why do I always take it to a dark place?
It's an interesting dark place, though.
Yeah, it's very good.
Tripped you walking down the aisle in class and broke your foot, so you'll never get that scholarship to go to
Oh,
college.
man.
You're never playing basketball again.
Oh, damn.
All right.
Much darker.
Let's see. Who harmed me once? I feel the obvious answer would be Alder, so I feel like I'm going to go with Aurelia. But Aurelia was my last connection, so I think I'm going to go with Alder. No. You were my last connection, my other...
You think I'm going to cut and run?
Right, so yeah, I'll make this one Aurelia. So you... So when you were mortal, you were police, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. Police that was aware of the monster underbelly of the city?
Yes.
Okay.
I am going to say that I was a magic user type. And that was why I got put undercover with this particular criminal ring, because it's filled with monster types.
I like the idea maybe it was almost collateral damage. Maybe you're hunting another fae and I was just there and it was with like cold iron bullets or something to that nature.
Oh, damn.
Or maybe that's how we met, but you don't know that I know.
Yeah. What if I don't know that I hurt you? Like, so we're chasing down this fae. I'm gonna make myself a werewolf ghost now, just
Sure.
because I want to.
Yeah.
Sorry. So we were chasing down this fae. I fired 3 rounds. Only one of them hit. But I don't know that anyone else got hit by the other 2.
I gotta dig that. And yeah, I remember your face, because you're not going to forget the person who shot you, but you have no idea that you shot someone else. And this is before we made our connection.
Yes.
But I remember that, like...
You're not going to forget.
No. Silent Underhill will remember this.
Simon Underhill remembers.
Yeah, I kind of like that. Yeah, so there's this underlying, like, oh, your comeuppance is coming. You being...
I mean, I am dead now.
Not quite the same.
If you're still here, you can still pay.
Right? You have a debt to pay. Okay, I like that.
Okay.
Ooh, I don't want to trample on things, but I just had a cool idea.
Yeah, go for
Do
it.
it.
What if the fae that you were taking down was like your brother, or
Yeah. Love that.
so like instead of physically getting shot, because
Yeah.
I like it.
I like that a lot, too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've killed your brother.
Totally did that
This
thing.
is some, like, not Fredo, but the other one.
Oh,
Sonny.
yeah.
oh, yeah.
Except without the, like, turnstile massive massacre business.
Oh.
So really nothing like
Let's not count anything out.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's gonna be a toll booth. Just wait.
All right, Dave, why don't you do another card? Red card.
When I need advice, I always go to think I'm going to go to Simon.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I think it's like I don't go out a lot. You seem cool.
I've seen some shit.
Worldly.
Yes.
Nice. Is Simon counting up favors?
Oh, absolutely, he is.
'Cause
He'll
Maybe I don't even know how that works.
I know.
And you absolutely. I have not explained any of that to you.
Yeah.
I love that.
Oh yeah. Oh no. Because he knows at some point he's gonna need the help of a necromancer.
Here's a tally. You owe me lots.
I saved the receipts.
Nice. Very good. Pooja, do you want to flip over your next card?
Okay. I have a strong connection with blank, and it grows stronger every day. Why? I am going to say that I have a strong connection with Alder because you brought my shade back into this plane, and it grows stronger every day because every day that I am here, our connection, that bond,
I like
so
that.
unwillingly formed,
Yeah.
is a little bit stronger.
Maybe part of the spell was having to give some of your life force to her, so you have that connection.
So one of the questions we just got in the chat is there any notation on the cards that tells you whether it should be a PC or an NPC that's named? And that is told mostly by the type of card it is. If it's a character connection card, one of the red ones with the suns on the back, and there's blanks on it, it's supposed to be a PC. So that you're working on. Any of the other cards, it usually says like someone, and that if you really want it to be a PC, that you can fill in those names. But generally, that's meant to be an NPC that the group has created or that the GM has talked about. So yeah,
Cool.
Very nice. All right, and so we're at the end of that round. So now I will flip over another card.
Score is. Sorry.
Together, our group reached an important milestone. What was it, and how did we reach it? This is great thinking time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Super, super wonderful audio things. But like,
If we don't like that card, we can also
so
exit too.
It's just the trying to figure out milestone. Milestone is what's hanging me up.
Yeah. It can be like a something you were working towards, or something that, as a group collectively, like, oh hey, this is really symbolic of us, bonding or trusting each other, or something like that. So it can be a lot of different things.
What if we So we work we are in support. All three of us are in support of the Vampire Council.
Mm-hmm.
So if we basically did something that got us recognition from them.
Mm-hmm. You're like some kind of you're a recognized group or a recognized.
Well, we earned our immunity pin. If you have the pin, then you're not food.
Oh, I like
At
that.
least not vampire food anyway.
Yeah.
But I like that.
Yeah.
I think that's a cool thing to add to the location. Is there's even amongst the monsters they're fed on, unless you are valuable to the Vampire Council in some other way.
Mm-hmm.
I like that. I really like that. That's super cool.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Very cool.
Or maybe each council member has their own token that they give.
Oh, I like that.
So then, if you mess with me, you're messing with that guy, or
Mm-hmm.
that kind of thing too.
So maybe we got ours from Victor.
From Victor.
Yeah.
Okay. Nice. As a GM, I really like that idea because I could use that a lot.
Yeah.
So I am in favor of herd tokens. I don't know.
No. Yes, I heard.
No, yeah.
Right.
I like this like vamp immunity token from
Yeah.
Victor.
My note is
I just like the idea of like each counselor would have their own.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that.
my note is we are friends, not food.
Absolutely.
Oh, that's great.
Maybe they only have a certain amount of tokens or whatever, so you have to constantly be in their favor. Otherwise, you lose your status as.
Or they could renege it at any time.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm trying to think of what Victor's would be, Mr. Winehurst.
I feel like maybe like a chalice.
That's
Like just
funny,
the
I was
outline,
thinking of
like an
chalice.
outline of a chalice with something in there. Most people look at it and be like, "Oh, that's wine," but people who really know are like,
Oh,
That's
you
blood.
sommelier? Oh,
Yeah.
No.
"No," but like it really symbolizes like a goblet of blood. It's like his symbol.
I like it.
I dig it.
Nice. Very good. All right. So we are now on to our last round.
Did you put your name in the goblet of blood?
Victor
I
said
feel like-
calmly.
I feel like now is a good time to add the, like, Vampire Council headquarters or something.
Oh well, yeah, we can absolutely add that.
I mean, if there's not something that we do.
Yeah, we can. You can add stuff whenever we want. The Decuma is very like ebb and flow with what the players and what the GM wants. But yeah, I feel like there should definitely be like a meeting place for our vampire council. I bet they all have like really nice places they go back to.
Yeah.
But
Well, they would
Yeah.
and definitely not trust each other that much.
no, they would
But like that there is a central place where they govern from.
not. Yeah. So where do we think that is?
I see just somewhere high, almost a penthouse type situation, either at the top of a skyscraper or at the top of a grand hotel.
Yeah. I like it. Top of a grand hotel.
I like that. People just
It's very old worldy.
Maybe it's right next to the magic font. Well, like
Yeah.
across the street, there's like a big, like the plaza in New York.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
Kind of.
Oh, I mean,
No,
you
no,
can do
I-
what you want. But if it's on this side and then the well is like splits, like, because Braun's estate is on this end.
Oh,
and then,
okay.
like on the other side of the well is the
That makes sense.
vampire
I like
place.
that.
I like it. Yeah.
We have our first penis like.
He's not done.
Sorry, I couldn't help myself. Sorry.
They're all gonna turn into that. I straight up told everybody.
He warned us. He warned us. Got it. I see. So it's a building. I see. Okay. And that's like the fence around it. At the bottom?
No, it's like it's got a big base and then it's got a tower
Oh, okay. Got it. Very
Oh,
cool.
okay.
kind of thing.
No, we
See?
got it. No, we got it.
No, it's cool.
I'm
You
just gonna put a V.
Okay. Hotel
V
V.
for
Hotel
Victor.
V, yeah.
Hotel V. Okay, nice.
Everybody think it's for victory. I am not a vamp.
Not okay.
All right. Very good. So we're on for the group question, right? Or no?
No idea.
Right.
The second
Just
location.
second location cards. Yes, that's what we're on. Okay. So who would like to go first? Dave, you just touched your card, so why don't you go first?
Ooh. Where in our location do you go to let off steam and act out?
Oh, I like this.
You know what? I feel like it'd be cool if there was a big arena park, kind of like the Running Man, right? Like they even do a game show out of it, kind of a thing. And like you can go there and you pay a fee, and then they let you in, and they let you be the monster for the protagonist of
Oh.
the game show, kind of a thing. So it's like a rage room, but for monsters, kind of thing. Yeah, no.
I actually kind of like
People,
that idea.
Yeah, I do. I'm just wondering if we get to kill the people at the end of it.
Well, like if we succeed,
So it's like Killer Fight Club.
Yeah.
I like it. Yeah.
Okay.
I dig it. I totally dig it.
It's like that thing that. Oh, what was that? Gerard Butler movie? Whatever.
Gladiator?
Wasn't that Russell Crowe?
It was Russell Crowe. As I said it, I'm like, that's the
Yeah,
wrong
that's
actor.
It was like. It does not matter. Draw your stable center.
Yeah, while we're doing this, we do need to start thinking of the name of our city too. Gamer. Is that the name of the movie?
Probably.
I'm vaguely
Okay.
familiar with that movie.
Yeah.
Was that the one where
I don't know. It was just shouted out in chat.
Well,
so-
it's because it was like the plot was that you were in this game show kind of situation, but like people were hunting you, and
was that
you
the
were
one
trying
with
to
the
survive.
the Dexter actor, and he made like the bunch of people do like the Thriller dance with his mind implants? Okay,
That, I don't know. I'm not sure about that one.
hold on.
But it's the only thing I remember about it was what I just said and Gerard Butler.
Jen Human says the first rule of Bike Club, you don't talk about Bike Club.
Nice. Yeah, that's Gamer that you're thinking of. Kadave, they say.
Yeah, that was awesome. It was so random.
All right, Pooja, why don't you flip over your next location card?
Cool. Someone in our location has solicited you to do something you don't want to do. Who are they, and what is it?
So this is a location card. So Pooja could find another connection with a PC if she wants, or she can create an NPC, which is kind of more the intent of the card, because then you can start populating your city with people that your GM can then throw at you later, which is always nice to do. As GM, I always appreciate that.
Honestly, I don't want it.
Okay. So
Like, sorry, everyone at home.
that's fine.
Okay, you idolize someone in our location. Who is it, and why are they inspirational?
Ooh.
Fancy. We have inspirational monsters. I think that there was a legendary werewolf who was the first person who staked their claim here, like in the monster community.
Oh, okay.
They like basically built up the foundations of the city.
Jebediah werewolf.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and like lots of people idolize them, not just werewolves. I just feel a special connection because werewolves.
Dig it?
So, and there is like a monument to the city's, like the Undercity's founding. Here, towards the center, it makes sense that it would be near the city center. And I'm going to totally rip off the idea of like the bean from Chicago, because one of the things I love about that is that it's it kind of, when you're standing close to it, it kind of works like a funhouse mirror.
Totally.
So what you see when you look into it is like the underbelly of the city.
Oh.
Nice.
So it's
Okay.
a little, it's a magical monument.
Cool. I like that. It looks like a bean.
Or a bear squished at their breasts, whatever. It's gonna be like reflectivity. Founders. I'm gonna call it Founder's Eyes. I can name things sometimes.
Speaking of names, do you have a name for the founder?
Nope.
Chat has recommended Geraldine Lupa.
Nice.
Thank you, Jen Human. Jen Human was the person who recommended it.
Geraldine Lupa. I like it.
Excellent. Very good. Last location card.
Okay. Let's see.
I'm just going to say the chat right now is like, oh, you drew Washington State. We're like, because someone just came in, Jason. I'm like, this is why we're offering map outlines, so you don't accidentally draw Washington State as your city.
I thought you were going for Fudgy the Whale, but Washington State also works.
Yeah.
I turned Seattle into the death arena. I'm very excited now.
Sorry, Bill.
They have to get to the Space Needle to survive.
There's a wise person in our location from whom people seek advice. Who are they?
Ooh.
I like the idea of there being some kind of oracle. I think that they're definitely some kind of mage, some kind of magic user, who is centered someplace that looks really mundane. I can't figure out what it is yet. I don't want to pull the tropes of like chess player in the park because I just put something in the park, but something in that vein. Maybe it is a woman who runs. She's a seamstress.
Okay.
Yes.
And she reads the fabrics and reads the weave.
What if, just to like,
Please.
tweak a little bit, instead of being like a magic user, like everyone's baffled because she's not.
She's super magic.
Like,
Yes.
nobody knows how this happens. She's not, like, a magic user as far as anybody can tell. There's no sensitivity, but she's just able to do this thing.
I really like that.
Okay.
And I like the fact, too, then I don't think she really is aware necessarily that there are other creatures out there. So to approach her, you have to appear to be normal. So that puts a whole other spin on people maybe who aren't looking so normal, werewolf folk, all the time. So yeah, let's put her. Where's the Sharpie? Sorry, that's good. We're gonna put her. Over here on the outskirts, kind of the lower side of the city.
Yeah.
Peninsula stitching.
Yeah.
But also, as a GM, that gives me a lot to play with later, because maybe there is a connection that she just isn't aware of, or other people don't know.
And we could have our own little like fabric district, fashion district, rather.
That makes me very happy.
We are on the same page here.
Yes.
You gotta nail down that Oracle actress before they start filming Matrix 4.
Are they making it?
It's just Alfred.
So her name is Sandra Troy, and
Okay.
she's the Oracle.
Nice.
See, there's something about her that she's been such a great villain so many times that I automatically am like, nope, I don't.
Yeah.
Whatever she's saying,
Don't
gonna
trust
turn
you.
bad.
It's like Sean Bean. You're like, oh, he's gonna die. Like, no matter what. And then if he doesn't, you're just like, oh.
I was robbed.
This isn't right. You did that just to spite me. I know it. Very good. Okay. So that was all our location cards.
I think
So
so.
at the
Yeah.
end of that round, our World Dynamics card is we were involved in a mystery. What happened and how was it resolved? Yeah, we're getting a question about the broadcast room while you were thinking. The pictures behind us are fan art from different characters from different actual plays we've done. So people have sent those in. Some of them are just us, though. Like that one is just us as cartoons. But if you are in Twitch, you can hit exclamation art, and it will send you a link to a page that has it all so you can see it really clearly. Don't pay attention to what I'm saying.
No, I'm-
Okay, I'm vamping.
No, I'm
Okay.
thinking.
What if there was like a big heist?
It's funny. I was
we
thinking.
managed to.
Can we keep talking about art? Like, what if it was an art heist?
Ooh,
Yes.
not the Happy Jacks cartoon photo.
No. Not Tetsubo Man.
Yeah.
Well, what if it was an artifact heist?
I dig that. So I'm trying to think of what other, like, supernatural creatures we haven't touched on yet that it might be.
I know. I'm like, if I had just remembered to bring Stu back as Urban Shadows, what today?
This is all your fault, Pooja.
Totes.
Blame me.
I'm the worst. It's okay.
What if it was a gang of, like, just humans that wanted to try and use an artifact to try and get magic powers?
Oh, yeah.
Like, they discovered this whole underworld, and they're like, oh, we gotta do something, otherwise we're just... Oh, now I get why that place is called Chef. Fuck!
So it is basically like to the outside world, they are conspiracy theorists, but the
Yeah,
conspiracy
yeah.
is real.
And whatever they tried to steal was way beyond their control.
Oh, yeah. But we
love
managed to get it back.
Yeah.
Maybe that's how we earned our token.
Oh, I like it.
I like that. I like it a lot. So maybe it was like something that belonged to or contained like this incredibly powerful specter.
Yeah, it was a tomb.
Like a phylactery.
Yeah.
Yes. I was like, wait, a tomb is too big.
That's some Carmen Sandiego shit.
I was like, oh, I'll never forget the day I learned what guano was. Also the same day I learned what spelunking is.
Yes.
Where in the world is Carmen Sandiego?
Hey, that computer game helped me win my 8th grade geography bee.
I loved that game.
I literally never found Carmen Sandiego. I am so bad at geography. I could always tell who the person was. Like, by the time it came to, like, getting to the place.
Nope.
Yeah.
So, is there like a history museum?
Totally.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why did I pick up the pen again?
So we really want you to draw.
I don't want to.
Do it.
I've expended all all of my drawing
I
ability
think
to do
Pooja should draw.
I
Square
think
with
I've
the barbed
drawn.
wire.
You're the one who has not drawn
I
enough. Like, you just had a little square.
And I added the park.
Fine.
It-
It's very
So,
geometrical. I like it.
I know my strengths.
Yeah.
That's what I do. I draw a square and I label the square. Like
Yeah.
I know how to do this.
Performing arts.
I like the idea that there's kind of like a entertainment area of town. So you have the arena, and then next to it
That's
is
super
like
fucked up.
Entertaining for us.
Yeah.
yeah.
Come to the downtown section. Maybe
And then
you'll die.
yeah. And it's like an obelisk.
Okay.
With a bunch of like glyphs on the outside. So it is a history museum.
The insert city name, Museum of History.
Hope you're all thinking about that because we're gonna have to name that in a minute.
Sure.
The problem is we keep having to like think about other things too.
Yes.
I only have so many like channels.
Gotta multitask it a bit. All right. So that was our group card. So now this is our last round of Decuma. So we are all going to flip over our World Dynamics cards. So everyone has one, and then I have the very last card, and then we will have finished this particular game of Decuma.
I really want to play this game.
I know.
Joey, you had your finger on the card, so I'm going to make
Sure.
you go first.
Do I want to flip it or just...
Spin it, or what do you want to do?
I don't know.
This is what they've started doing, because like they like having it inverted or not. They like spin it, and then they flip it over.
Let's do that. Okay.
Yeah.
The moon. Our group doubts a well-known, trusted figure. Who are they, and why do we distrust them? But I feel the obvious choice is Braun, but I think we should have another NPC.
Yeah, we should add somebody.
I think there's a like the head of like an economic group, maybe.
Like that. Maybe, I mean, maybe it's another Fae who's trying to manipulate the Rumpelstiltskin bullshit. Play that game. Who's amassed, all this money and power and seems to be very, I can't think of the word, philanthropic with it.
Yeah.
But
Kind of like in that iteration of Kingpin. Like, oh, everything, like, to the naked eye, this all seems good. But really, like, something is going on back there.
Chad has a bunch of ideas. They're saying Oliver King, and then someone else says the head of Unicorn Financial Group.
yeah.
Yeah.
I love
Unicorn,
it.
the head of Unicorn Financial.
Yep.
Who... Yeah. Faye.
Whole new meaning to like the whole angel investor thing. Yeah, it's good.
All right. Let me make another square on this map.
Draw a unicorn. Just think about it like
A group of squares.
PlayStation 1 unicorn.
Spyro the Dragon unicorn. I love it.
It's 4 triangles. That's all you have to work with, art as supplies.
Oh, Spyro.
Love that game. I just drew the obelisk that you just drew. That's fine.
It's fine.
It kind of looks like a pencil, so that's kind of awesome.
That's what I meant to do, and that's totally the horn. Just no one look at me while I'm drawing this unicorn.
We all stare, like,
Because I'm super excited
silently.
to see what's happening. What? What is going on? I'm like, oh, dude, that's awesome.
Yeah, it really is.
I forgot the horn. That's okay.
Nice, yeah.
Thank you.
The Sharpie's just too thick for some
I
things.
got too carried away on the
Yeah.
horn.
Let's make sure we write his name on there.
Oh, yeah.
Oliver King. While you're playing, it's really helpful if you're making a place for an NPC to write the NPC's name down there too, for you to reference later. Obviously, as the GM, you're taking notes. Players are taking maybe notes if you have players that take notes. Pooja, thank you. And Dave, thank you for taking. Actually, all of you are taking. Good job. Aww. But also that just helps for reference later to have the name next to the thing. All right. Awesome. Next card, Pooja. Why don't you go next?
Okay. Something important happened that gave our shared group purpose. What was it? I feel like we kind of answered this one, didn't we?
Yeah.
Yeah. You're a murderer.
And,
Also-
the well.
Yeah. And the recovering the item, the
I
artifact.
have a bunch of different things. All right.
Oh, this is cool. If someone was going to describe our group, what would they say is our greatest strength or virtue?
Oh, that is a really good question.
Oh, man.
And it's fun because it's like, what does the outside world see us as versus what we see ourselves as? Going on this noir theme, it's like, oh, they're the ones who aren't afraid to get their hands, like, they're not afraid to get their hands dirty, kind of like, they're willing to go where other groups are not willing to go.
I like that. Limited scruples.
See, actually, I was thinking, like, the last honest people in town.
Oh, I do like that too.
I like that too. That it's like,
But we're each coming at it from a different angle.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you're super helpful to these up-and-coming acts, but it's so that you can grow your own power.
Right.
But it's super helpful to them.
And also
sure.
very upfront.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not hiding anything from you.
You're totally like, I'm going to find who did this, I'm going to take him down, and but you're still, like, a good cop.
yeah.
And I'm, like, coming at it from, like, he's just a naive kid, new to the world, let's do this. But I'm a fucking necromancer that does terrible things to the dead. Like, yeah, okay.
I was finally going to get some sleep.
I do really like that, especially
That's
if we're
great.
doing this really gritty, dark,
Yeah.
underworld, being kind of that beacon of not necessarily light, but
But like
you get a fair deal.
integrity?
integrity.
Yeah.
That's the word.
No, I like that a lot.
Yeah, love that.
Especially since I was an undercover cop, so I basically lied for a living.
But for the
greater good.
yeah.
But it just I love a delicious little bit of irony.
Yes, absolutely. Awesome. Last card. Go ahead, Dave.
Ooh. Our group was given information that we ignored. What did we learn and what happened? Maybe we found out that Braun was using her tech to build, like, an army of enforcers. Like, out of the dead, and it's like a weird perversion of the art that I do. And, like, it at the same time, yeah, it's screwed up, but now, like, she's got this militia of assembled parts as enforcers. And like we heard about that rumor, we're like, oh, like, no way. Like, look, it's over there trying to do good. They're trying to fix this whole magic drying up situation. Like, cool. And then later on, we're like,
Oh,
they're
wait,
a bunch
that
of
was true.
weird big guys. Like,
Why is there an arm attached to... Is that a head on top of it?
I like that. I really like that. I'm getting kind of in my head almost like a Sentinels type vibe from her enforcers,
little
maybe.
bit.
Like just the mindless, they have a job to do and they're unstoppable.
Yeah.
I like that. And maybe we got the information secondhand from the Oracle. Maybe we heard, someone tried to give us information. They got it from
we're like-
Sandra, and we're like, that makes no sense. And she's losing her touch. And like, what do you mean corpses walking? No, that's. If there was necromancy going on, we would have picked up on it.
There's none of that. I mean, aside from the baseline.
Right. We were like, you have your finger on the lack of pulse. So you mean you know.
So through techno magic, which I have now decided that is called,
Oh yeah.
you built an army of kind of dead things.
Nice.
And it's not all human pieces. Like, there
probably
are
not,
animal
yeah.
pieces,
Yeah,
all
it's just
kinds
all
of
monster
it's just
pieces.
whatever.
Horrible.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Nice.
that's awesome.
I have no idea how to... I'm just going to put dots, because, like,
Yeah.
the Sharpie is not going to do justice to the fact that I want to draw, like, a half horse, half...
Like Cronenberg Nightmare.
Yes.
Fuel. Yeah.
Nice. So we know that her compound is protected by this fortress, and she sends them out into the city. Nice. All right, and last card. So this is my last card too. So this is like the end of this particular game of Decuma. Our group had a streak of bad luck and nearly ended. What happened?
Trying to keep drawing it back to Braun.
I kind of So you went to find out what was going on with this, like, crazy undead army. You hadn't felt any pulses and the necrotic force. And you got, like, swarmed by these sentinels as you went to try to sneak into the estate. Or,
Captured and interrogated or something? You guys mounted a rescue?
Yeah, that, like, you tripped off a silent alarm that you didn't realize was there. They captured you.
Maybe necromancy doesn't work on them. Because they're not undead. They're just parts that are animated by something else.
And, like, the wounds you suffered were grievous enough that it started to shatter the bond that I had to this plane. Because your bond is part of what keeps me here.
Oh, yeah. Nice.
And now you two have to be physically closer.
I can totally see that scene, right? Like, I've been captured. They're torturing me for whatever reason, just because. Like, then, like, you're trying to lead him to where I am, but you're, like, flickering in and out of existence. So, like, you'll be there next to him, like, this way, and then disappear, and then appear farther down the street, like.
I love that.
Yeah.
Oh.
Ooh, that's awesome. Chills from that. Nice. Awesome. Very good. Well, that is a game of Decuma. So at this point, we'd have a bunch of different things. We'd have a basic map that we could continue to add to. As the GM, I could add stuff in there. I could add NPCs. It's not supposed to be everything you need. It's supposed to be like a launching off point and creating a shared understanding for all the players. Generally, what you'd find in your first campaign and your first session, if you are trying Decuma for the first time, it saves a bunch of time for the GM explaining things. So, like, the first time you play in a town, rather than the GM plopping down a map and everyone being like, oh, wait, where is that compound? Or where does the magic come from again? Like, they all know.
What's this building?
Yeah, you all came up with it. So it saves so much time, and there's this shared understanding that your characters, having lived in the city, would have. So it's a really useful tool for that purpose.
And I love that, like, because you've all come up with a bunch of stuff about the world together, there's, like, you're starting off on the same page as to where y'all all are and what your backgrounds with each other are. It's one of the things I love. And, like, we didn't necessarily put a ton of stuff on this map, but, like, there's also only 3 of us. So imagine 5 more cards, like, and what all of those connections would have been and what could have grown out of there.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, this is a game of Decuma, and this is now, since we're not actually playing this campaign, what we refer to as Campaign Blue Balls.
Yes.
So, if all 3 of you are okay with it, can we do another one? Another round?
That would be great.
Perfect. So yes, we had a question a minute ago. Are there variations on how you
That's
can...
what I was about to say. Like, I'll just take a 1-minute break.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Yeah, I'm ready.
I can explain for a moment and some things for a moment. Go ahead and put all your cards that you've already used right here. We'll use them. Make sure.
Oh, I see. Make sure we get all the cards.
That way we get all new cards, since people will see we don't want them to see the same cards.
Bye, cool character.
Amazing world.
I want it.
Well, and the chat is like going crazy with all these cool ideas. They were saying that one of the reasons, like as the GM, I would totally take this idea. But as one of the reasons the magic is drying up, because she's using it to power her army.
Yeah. Oh, I for sure was thinking about that.
Yeah,
too.
it's like very good.
Or the classic, like, as technology rises, magic wanes.
Oh,
that was another idea someone
Yeah.
had in the chat.
Yeah, very
And
nice.
then Jen Human's like, the wound, which weakened the bond to the Phantom, and the Fae had to give a portion of themselves to help stabilize.
Oh, yeah.
And I wrote in the chat what happened was the Fae gave the Necro his true name as a power source.
Oh. I dig it.
That would have been so cool.
So, yes, there are a variation on ways you can play Decuma. Actually, the first stretch goal that they unlocked with the Kickstarter was 10 different variations on how to play Decuma. They're all named after tarot cards just because that's fun and thematic. There's the Hermit, where you play by yourself as the GM, just to give yourself ideas. We have a writer who also uses it for just writing, and he wrote me a note about it. I was like, that's cool. There's the lovers variant, which is you leave out the location cards and you just do character connection cards and the and the world dynamics cards. So if you're playing like an adventure path and you already have a very set location, you have a map, you have all those things, then you can leave that out and you just do the connection pieces. Today we're going to try what's called the Priestess, which is where we mix up all the location and character connection cards together. And we just hand out 4 to each person. So some people might get more location cards. Some people might get more character connection cards. It's all just luck, and we see what happens. So the idea is fate takes over and takes control of what you create for Decuma. And so, yeah, very exciting. Yeah, that's what the variations mean. So yeah, there's lots of different ways to play, and they'll all be spelled out now, thanks to meeting that stretch goal, in the packets that you get. Awesome. If you're a backer, which you should be. So go to goldenlassogames.com/Kickstarter. We've had a bunch of different people decide to back since we started, so thank you.
That's awesome.
Awesome. Thank you so much, everyone.
What flavor is this? It's very good.
Pamplemousse.
What is pamplemousse?
I think that's the
Grapefruit.
grapefruit one, yeah.
Okay, it's very good.
Pamplemousse is the best one.
It actually has some flavor.
A little bit, yeah.
One thing I don't know if you talked about while I was in the bathroom, was like if you're playing a game like Masks, or there are other systems where you've already figured out a part of it, like say you're playing D&D in an established location.
Yes. I talked about leaving out the location cards. I did not talk about leaving out the connection cards, so you can talk about that if you want.
Oh, awesome. So if you're playing like Masks, or pretty much any PBTA system has built-in character connections when you're doing your character creation. So you don't have to play with the character connection cards. You can use the character creation in your system, and then just figure out stuff with like the location and the major arcana that give you like your group's relationship to the world. And we did that, I believe, when we played Demigods, because Demigods has character like connections built into it as well. Did we decide what system and stuff we're playing for this yet? No?
Not yet.
Okay, cool. I was hoping I had absconded.
You missed all that.
I was hoping I missed the responsibility.
Nope, we were waiting for you. Because we're good people like that.
Yeah.
I have an idea to try and be way different.
Go for it.
Yeah.
What about like a low tech level traveler?
Ooh.
But it's like a solar system, the Dust Bowl.
Oh.
So like a planet has had an ecological disaster, it's no longer able to support itself. There's all these migrants that are slowly making their way across this star system to try and get somewhere. Kind of a thing.
I kind of like that idea.
Yeah.
And it's different too, because this is much more a smaller scale.
Yeah. I just was like, I don't want to go back to like
Got a piece of
monsters.
paper?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, would you go in and grab, there's a printer in there? Sorry.
Oh, it's cool. I just.
I was going to start handing out cards, so.
Oh, God.
All right, so yeah, so we're playing the Priestess variant, which is basically like luck gets you your cards. Is anyone good at shuffling that wants to shuffle them one more time? I got a bunch of non-shufflers. I shuffled them together, but just in case.
I tried not to shuffle them the first time. That's why I did it that way.
No, yeah.
But then when you were like, oh yeah, these are just the old prototypey ones.
Yeah.
I'm not going to be like...
No, yeah. And they're also, like, they're really hardy good cards, so you can totally shuffle them. It's fine. There you go. I'm sorry, were we deciding on what we were going to do?
Oh, before we do.
Okay.
Hardy good cards. Indicative of the deck that you will get after you back the Kickstarter campaign.
Absolutely. So I'd love to do something like really different tone and style-wise and all that stuff.
I came up with an idea.
Okay.
Like low tech level traveler,
Okay.
but it's like a star system where one of the planets has had some kind of ecological disaster,
Oh, okay.
like the Dust Bowl.
Oh,
And
got
so
it.
now there's all these people that are slowly migrating in their crappy little spaceships to try and get somewhere for a better future. And
So I'm handing out 4 cards now.
Oh.
All right, Joe.
Oh.
The hand of Joey.
What'd you get?
All character connection.
Oh yeah, well, I'm almost there.
Yeah, I got the opposite. And I got
Oh, it's like a
3.
progression.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, you
We ran out of blue ink.
All right, and I still get 5 group cards, and then each of you still get a World Dynamics card.
Okay.
Sweet.
This is going to be super fun. Okay. I'm going to just...
Flip them around, mix them up.
All right.
All right, yeah. So in this one, we do the same number of rounds. It's just not super organized. Like the last one, we did a character connection. Everyone had 2 of each type of card. We did character connections, then location, then character connections, then location. This time, it's a free-for-all. I'm just going to ask you to flip over a card. The only one you can't flip over until the last round is the World Dynamics card, the purple one, and with the moon on it. So, yeah. So we're traveler. Are we in a spaceship? Are we on a planet? What do we want to be?
I like the idea of like the star system.
Oh, okay. You're designing the whole star system. Cool.
But yeah, it's like in my head the game is really about like the people that are trying to travel to get to the next place.
So are we... So, I mean, I thought, what if we were, as a party, the ship that was carrying people over planet to planet?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like maybe we're the crew of a transport ship that is helping people get places. That's cool. I like the idea of that story.
Oh, I love that. Yeah.
That was great.
And like, since it's super low tech level, it's like we have to stop a lot
Yeah.
to get gas. And to get,
Oh, it's kind of like, Stargate Universe. And the ship kept stopping for things.
sure, yeah, but not like.
But
all
that's
the
like
weirdness.
super high tech level, I guess.
Yeah,
Like,
Yeah. Can we be more like Firefly level? Like, kind of, it's managing resources.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
I like that. It's super fun. Some friends that are actually running a Firefly type game in the Star Wars universe.
Nice.
Oh.
It'll be super fun in the Fantasy Flight system.
So someone was asking in chat while you guys are coming up with your characters,
Oh yeah.
why the World Dynamics group cards are how are they different? Because obviously they are all at the end. I think they're the most important because they tend to create. You all collaborate on them, so it tends to create a. We call it collaborative storytelling. It sets the foundation for that. It also really defines how your group interacts with the world around them, and helps define the world around them in a way that a lot of the other cards don't. I also think that the character connection cards and the world and the location cards are really important, but these ones kind of also they get batted around and create a bond at the table as far as the players, not creating the world necessarily in a way that other cards don't necessarily, just by design. And they're also the major arcana cards in the deck, so they are a little bit different too. If you're curious, if you're tarot curious. All right, do we want name ideas this time?
I just came up with something.
Oh, good.
It's always great when I just mash letters together.
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
that's a good thing about sci-fi stuff. You can just mix it up. It can be super crazy.
Put a bunch of apostrophes.
Oh yeah.
Accent marks.
Well, it's like when I'm playing an elf, just say a lot of I's with Y's, and you'll be fine. Extra vowels.
Yep. So, all right. So this time, we just got done playing Urban Shadows and PBTA. So for our next campaign, we're running Traveler, low tech level, a dying system, or at least a seriously in trouble system as far as sustainability, and we're actually going to be creating the full system too, not a ship, not a planet, but the full star system. All right. If you know what your characters, who would like to go first?
I'll go first. His name's Elijah Young. He's, I don't know if he's a co-pilot or like an assistant, like he's trying to learn to be a pilot. and he's on the ship to earn enough money to get his own ship and to make his own fortune.
Okay.
So I think he's trying to carve out himself a little part of the system.
Mm-hmm. Nice. And since it's Traveler, we're all human. I'm
Right.
assuming, yeah.
Yeah.
Just clarifying for people who might know sci-fi but not know Traveler specifically, the system. Dave, are you ready?
I am no longer named Elijah.
Oh no! Oh no!
Are you?
Wow.
Is your
Fine.
button on?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, you're good. I got it.
Okay. I mean, I think I'm okay.
You're fine.
Okay. So, Evan Lockwood.
Okay.
Unless Chat has a better name, first name.
No, you said you had it, so they didn't.
They didn't give any. Curse my metal body. All right.
We are Legion. We are Elijah.
Yeah.
I think he works on this transport ship that I gave a temporary name because I like the term, and it's a real Earth term, the Panamax.
Oh.
Like that's the largest size transport ship that can go through the Panama Canal.
Oh,
I like
It's
that.
a class of ship is called the Panamax.
Oh, I didn't know that.
But I think he's never been on a planet. Like he was born in space, very much like the Belters from
Right.
The Expanse.
Expanse.
The Expanse, yeah.
It's the other E word that I was trying to find in my head. Yeah, he's never been on a planet, and he just kind of jumps from ship to ship, working wherever there's a job. Spends time on small outposts occasionally when jobs dry up, but he tries to keep moving and stay alive.
Cool.
Nice.
So were you like an engineering type, or?
I think he's sort of just a handyman in space. Like he'll take whatever job is available.
So like a jack of all trades.
Yeah. He probably has a little bit of experience doing a lot of stuff.
Sweet. My character is Tamar Lipendor. Like I said, jam those letters together. And she is an astrogation specialist. She has been stationed on the Panamax for a long time. Like most of her career.
Okay.
Like didn't really travel outside of like that hierarchy a lot.
Okay. Nice. All right. Very good. Why don't you give me our map, and I will start drawing a thing. This is going to be super simple because I'm just going to draw a star in the middle. I guess it will be a sun technically, which is a star. Ta-da!
That's a spider. No, only 7 legs. Okay.
It's a wounded spider.
Ah!
Oh!
There, now I'll give it more than 8 little sunshine ray things. It says
The
sun on
radiation
it.
coming to kill you.
It says sun. It makes it a sun.
She named her spider Sun.
Thank
We need to know.
All right.
That's right. I thought Sam was on vacation.
Yeah.
Now I've got this image in my head. I have this image of Sam singing "You Are My Sunshine" to a little spider.
Yeah. Nice. All right. So. All right. Who would like to go first? To flip over one of their cards. You get to pick which one. Any but the purple one with the moon.
I'll go first.
Okay.
You are envious of blank success and have trouble hiding it. I think I'm envious of Evan's success, and I think success for Elijah is measured in the fact that you are. He's kind of romanticizing your life through his eyes, because he sees you as this person who
He's
spends
been so many places.
exactly.
Yeah,
You are this amazing traveler who sees all these different places and goes all these different things, and it's whether or not that's true. That's what he sees.
I dig it.
I love that.
Nice. Pooja, why don't you flip over one of your cards?
Okay.
While we're doing this, let's say what kind of card it is, too, since we don't have
sorry.
the same. That's okay.
I
Didn't think
have
of it.
a location card.
I have all character cards. It's got a blanket statement, that one.
Yeah.
Our location had a valuable resource, but it is gone now. What was it, and why is it gone? I'm gonna say that the planet, the original colonized planet, had it had a large area of like arable land where there was like a great place to grow crops.
Mm-hmm.
And because of that, because of like an unknown effect of like the particular radiation coming out of this sun, it killed the crops that we like. The types of crops that we were planting were not conducive to the environment.
Okay.
So, like, we couldn't grow the things that we had to grow.
Mm-hmm.
What's the name of the planet we're all leaving, Pooja?
You don't look.
I am not going to name this like we name the actual planets
In Traveler.
because no.
70 OBUG.
Yes. It's called Dolan's Peak.
I thought that's how you said Merry Christmas in Hawaiian.
I am going to name it.
That's from L5R.
Yeah, that's a
Also,
Mercy
yes.
Toshi.
Yeah, I am going to name our former planet Hope.
Okay.
Okay.
Nice. All right. Dave.
Real quick before we go any farther.
Mm-hmm.
Are we going more realism, like tone-wise?
Oh, yeah,
Oh,
we
yeah,
didn't
we
agree
forgot
on
to-
tone. I'm sorry, I forgot to agree on tone first.
Well, we went all gritty horror before.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to do a little slapstick. Like, ecological disaster, let's flee across the
So,
solar
like,
system.
okay, like Firefly, or like, I don't know.
Avenue
what's-
5.
No, it's like Red Dwarf.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Like,
Yeah, I can see that.
Okay.
See that we're on this transport ship. It's just a
but
hive
like,
of
there's nowhere
failure.
we cannot go back.
yeah.
We cannot go back, but somehow we keep going forward. But like, how?
Yeah. Okay.
All right.
Nice.
I'm going to do a character card.
Okay.
I shared a deep desire with blank. What made you trust them? I think I've always wanted to learn to fly. But I've never gotten the chance to do that because nobody trusts their ship to the new guy. Like, and I've always been the perennial new guy. Like, I'm probably actually an older person now, like mid-50s, maybe even 60s, but has just traveled all over the place. But like,
Got it.
always had this desire to be like, yeah, it'd be cool to be the guy that's actually driving.
And it's kind of the jack of all trades. It's the one spot you haven't gotten to,
Yeah,
because
yeah.
you don't really bring someone new in to fly the ship.
Right.
I dig that.
Everybody always has a pilot. So I think I told you about that,
Yeah.
Elijah. So
Mhm.
for those listening, I'm pointing and not using words. So I think I told you that, and yeah.
I like it.
Very good. All right, so that was the end of our first round. Yeah, for this variant, you literally just have everyone turn over a card, and then it's my turn. So I'm going to be flipping over a World Dynamics card. Ooh, we got the Tower. Our group broke something important. What was it, and why? How did we break it?
Well, clearly Pooja crashed us into the space station trying to park.
For the callback to our Traveler campaign.
I mean, it was just like a scrape, and the only person who got hurt was Stork.
Oh, it's fine then.
No.
And he would have been fine had he not had his feet in a kiddie pool.
Also true.
Okay, but what did we break?
We broke our long-distance communications survey.
Oh. Yeah, that's important.
Oh yeah, we're just flying in the black now.
Like, we can still, like, chart and stuff, but we cannot send even, like, messages that we'd normally be able to send to, like, the mail ships.
The Expos.
The expos.
Yeah.
Like, we can't do that. It's too far.
Oh, man. That's painful. That's a great thing to have broken. I appreciate that. Thank you, Pooja. As the GM, I will take this gift you've given me. Does everyone agree with that?
Yeah, I love that.
And how and why did it get broken? Because this is a collaboration card. So.
Oh, yeah. Okay, I want it to be user error. I just can't figure out how. Like,
We were trying to tune in to the equivalent of the Star System's World Cup.
Oh.
oh,
And
totally.
we were trying to realign it, but then it like ended up swinging the array like in front of the thrust exhaust.
Okay.
Just a little bit more. Just a
Yeah, but
little
like,
bit more.
Look, the reception's getting better. Keep going that direction. Keep going that direction.
Why did it stop? Where did it go?
And it's like, right. Like, oh my god. If it was like a soap opera.
Okay.
Oh.
Yeah, right.
So it's like right before you find out who shot JR.
And we're back to Dallas. Curse you, Dallas.
No, it's the best, worst game ever.
Oh,
I
man.
should break it out and just bring it to games on
Do it. Oh my
Do
god,
it,
I would play it
please
in a
do it.
heartbeat. I had so much fun. Sorry.
Do a one shot of it.
Do.
Oh, okay.
It's literally the only soap opera I know anything about. I've still never seen it.
It's the
It's
best,
the
worst game I've ever
first-
played.
It's the first, like, licensed property-based RPG experience.
We need this.
Mm-hmm.
Please bring.
Dave did it at
And it's,
the last
I mean,
con.
prepare yourself, because you're going to get real mad.
Yeah.
Because it's real 1980,
Yeah.
real, like...
Real
Here-
Dallas.
And here's the problems for the men, like, go out and do big business. And here's the problems for the women, hide the fact you spent too much money at the store.
Yeah.
Never mind.
It says-
all my fun is dead.
It says in the rules the female characters are weaker.
Yeah.
They have to band together.
Can I stab people in this game though?
Sure, why
Sure.
I mean, I'm in the kitchen, so I've got knives.
not? Yes.
And everybody's food.
Yeah.
Never anger the chef.
But so I like the idea. I love the idea that we screwed up the long distance array doing something we shouldn't have been doing. I also love the fact that none of us are necessarily playing the captain, which means the captain's an NPC.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I also like to think the captain doesn't know the reason why it's broken.
Yeah. Oh,
No,
yeah.
we would all be at the break.
Nice.
It was still, I got a call from the bridge. Like, you need to go outside. We lost all the long distance communication. Oh yeah, I'll get right on that. I don't know what happened. It's like Sean Connery in Last Crusade. Like, they got us, son.
Oh my god, yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Go. Okay. Awesome. All right, so let's do another round. Dave, why don't you flip over a card for us this time?
Now I'm gonna go character again.
Okay.
Blank makes me think of things in a way I've never thought before. Are you also a spacer?
I'm not like a life spacer like you are. I've
Okay.
spent most of my life up here, but I would say that, like, I took shore leave down below.
Okay. I think maybe... I find it fascinating that you still like planets, even though you've spent most of your time up here. And I've always looked at it like, well, it's better up here. It's always clean. There's always a place to sleep. Like, on a planet, it's dirty and weird.
But you're kind of a germaphobe. I like
Yeah,
this.
yeah.
Like,
Very good. That makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
germs can't survive in space. Everybody knows it. It's science.
In space, no one can hear you sneeze.
Oh, that'd be so nice.
Lots of people would be
That's a
really
weird
happy
personal
about
touch.
that.
I'm sorry. I'll X-card myself.
Oh man, my little sneezes. All right, very good,
Awesome.
nice. Pooja, why don't you do another one?
Okay. More world cards. Or location cards, rather. A leader in our location takes advantage of their position. Who is it, and what are they doing? I think that the, speaking of never piss off the chef,
Oh,
the chef takes shameless advantage of their position, and Meds the chef, sorry, it's just such a random name. Meds leverages, like, favors, more like blackmail, to get things, like, that he wants, so that we have decent food. Because he can make, like, relatively good, like, whatever, with whatever fresh stocks or replicator kind of technology we don't have because we're low tech. But, like, or you get what, like, the rations.
Oh
Which are, like, the break your jaw, kind of spaceship biscuit kind of
you're a hunk of
situation.
hardtack.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look,
Use space hardtack.
they just make dough and just put it in the airlock and let the air out.
Yeah.
It freezes.
Yeah.
Bring it back
Here you
in.
go.
So
It's
sad.
freeze dried
Yeah.
tech.
You have to soak it in water for like 4 hours just to be able to do it.
There you go. Yep. Nice. All right,
Just gnaw on it.
Joey.
Um,
Rats.
You have strong feelings for blank and told them. How'd that go?
And again, this can be up for interpretation. Strong
Right.
feelings can be romantic. They can be angry. They can be a lot of things.
Trying to think. I think Elijah's a little dumb. Not dumb, naive. He's a little naive.
Naive. Okay.
Naive. And, you know,
Small town boy with the big dreams.
exactly. And painting this perfect idea of himself. He has his own spaceship with, obviously, a beautiful woman on his arm. You know, traversing the galaxy with him. And I think he might have approached Tamar with that concept pretty early on. Like, see, I'm gonna get my own spaceship, and then we're gonna do this thing, and it's gonna be great. No ill intention, but just, you know, trying to be. And I'm sure that went as well as I think it went,
Yep.
which is not very well.
It's just like,
It's not.
well, what? Yeah, like I like to think in my version of it, you were like, yeah, and I even drew up like this picture of what we'll look like together. and it's like Tamar in like the Princess Leia bikini. Like,
Oh,
Oh yeah.
not good.
Not great. Like not meaning to be, you know,
I mean, just completely like
clueless. Just
yes.
completely clueless.
Like, won't this be amazing?
And the answer is
like-
no.
Yeah.
No, it will not be amazing.
And I think he learned a lot from that day.
Like, we won't have to wear these stupid uniforms on my ship. We can
Right.
wear whatever we want, like this. What?
Like, are you going to be the one wearing that?
Nice.
Yeah,
All right.
I think that's what that was.
Good. That was the end of our second round?
I think so. Yeah.
Perfect. All right, so we'll do another one of my cards. Oh, I love this one. Each person in the group should pick a word to describe a negative aspect of their personality.
This is so much more fun when we're doing comedies.
Yeah.
I think I kind of already hit mine as like naive.
Humorless.
Okay.
I think I'm just straight lazy. Like, sloth incarnate.
Okay. Nice. Okay.
That's why I work on so many ships. Because they only tolerate it for so
For
long.
so long, and then. All right.
Here's a jack of all trades. Or maybe the jack of no trades.
Well, I have a lot of experience doing stuff, but it takes a long time. Oh, yeah, I'll get to that anti-ray boss, I swear.
Yeah, it'll be fine.
It's
All right.
job security.
So our third round. Who's not gone first yet?
I'm the anti-Mr. Scott. Like, I tell him it's going to take 8 weeks. It's
Yeah.
going to take 12.
Oh, I went first.
Dave went. Pooja?
I think
So you're
Pooja's
trying to go
gone
first?
first.
Okay.
Okay, I was like, I don't remember anymore.
Yeah, it's fine.
I've got nothing.
Flipped over a lot of cards today.
You compete with someone in our location. Who is it, and what do they do?
All right. So this is another location card.
I am going to say I compete directly with the pilot
Okay.
on the bridge. And it's because, like, they're constantly, like I am humorless and think I am much, much better at my job than I am.
Okay. Nice. I feel like we should draw our little ship somewhere on the map.
Oh yeah.
Well, we're going away from the radiation disaster.
Yeah. Okay. Just write ship on it.
There it is. See? It's a spaceship. It doesn't have to be aerodynamic or
No.
well designed.
No.
It's just
We should also draw probably. I guess we wouldn't have that.
That's the broken off stump where communications array used to be.
Yeah, what it used to be. Nice. We should probably draw the radiation on there too, somewhere. Just a little. Isn't it coming from Hope? Yeah.
Well,
there it is.
yeah.
Coming from the sun to
Oh,
Hope.
to Hope. Got it.
And now Hope is like,
Boring radiation. Okay.
sick.
Poor thing. Okay.
I told you not to read in the car.
All right. Nice. Dave, why don't you go next?
I'm going to do location.
Okay. Oh no.
Something is censored in our location. What is censored and why? Everything, because we can't cut.
No, but it could be also something in the system, because the system could also be our location.
Yeah. I think there is like a central agency that restricts communications back to our original system.
Okay.
Like any communication to try and get back home has to go through this official channel.
Got it.
And like you get responses back sometimes, but they're weird, and you're like, I never had a dog named Rover. Like, what? Like, a lot of people suspect that like we're not actually in communication anymore.
Oh.
But they say, oh, everything's fine. It just takes a long time.
Interesting. I like that. Okay.
Yeah.
To add something to represent that.
Like, Gateway Station.
Nice.
Dig it.
Okay. Awesome.
Oh, and I'll put
Okay.
the sign for no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
All right. Blank hurt you, but you didn't tell them. What was it, and why don't you say anything? I feel like it's so difficult having so many character connection cards. Only 2 other players.
Yeah.
I know.
Um.
But in this case, like, it makes sense that you would make an NPC, right? Like,
Yeah, you could.
Okay.
We can also swap it out too if you feel
Yeah.
like
Let's swap that one out.
Okay. So we'll X that one and give you another
Okay.
one. Oh no.
Any card that starts with giggles is a good card.
No, just based on my last card.
Oh.
You suspect that Blank has deep feelings for you, but they haven't said anything.
oh my god, this is amazing. Yes.
So yeah, I think I just came about it the wrong way.
Yeah. 100%.
I absolutely think I just haven't approached you correctly. I just don't know how to do that yet. Maybe my good friend Evan can teach me how to approach.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
Oh. I mean, stop me, but it's just like the difference in our positions here that is stopping me from revealing my true feelings for you. So once you get your own ship, I'll be able to embrace my true love.
It's awful, but it's a comedy.
Thanks, I hate it.
Okay. All right.
That's all
Nice.
of us.
My card. Our group is owed a large debt. What are we owed and by whom?
None of us have been paid in 5 years.
Okay.
The
just-
captain.
the
Yeah, I guess.
captain,
Yeah.
yeah. Okay. Nice. That makes perfect sense.
Yeah, he's waiting on a paycheck from, whoever hired us, and it's coming in any day now. We were going to get on a long-range wire transfer, but our
Our communications erased.
That's the scene at the end of that
Yeah.
episode. It's like we just burnt the long range communication array off, and then there's like a bank teller sitting there with a computer. For some reason, that payment's not going through. I guess we'll just have to hold it till they come back.
That's perfect. That's amazing.
I love it.
All right. Very nice. All right. Next round. Flipping over cards. Dave, let's start with you again.
Ah,
So you have another character connection
another
card.
character card, yes. Blank delayed my progress on something important. What was it?
Because you needed an excuse to be delayed on something, right?
I think maybe Tamar introduced me to the soap opera that we were watching.
Yes.
Okay.
So now I'm like watching all the back episodes and not getting any work done.
Okay.
Like even my usual base level of
Nothing.
poor performance,
Okay.
but now like nothing. No maintenance is being performed.
All right.
oh my God, I love that so much.
Very good. All right, Joey, what did you
Okay.
do next?
Chat room out there, think about what the soap opera is called.
Yes.
In the meantime, it's going to get called Dallas.
Blank could help you get something you want if you'd ask. What keeps you from asking? I think that one I am going to make the captain.
Okay.
I think the captain could help me get...
Maybe like your license.
That's exactly what I was
Yeah.
thinking. Like, get me more experience, but he's not going to let me fly the ship. Or maybe he will. I don't know, but I'm too afraid to ask.
Right.
Because I've seen what he does when he's not happy. Which is why we have told him about the long distance array. Yeah,
How's those repairs coming? Mute. Everything's fine. It's just real bad out here. Unmute.
It's a real complicated job.
it's playing in your heads-up display. You're out there just banging on the side of the ship.
I love it.
Nice.
Yeah, I think the captain could easily...
You've
I
rigged,
need like a certain amount of flying hours.
Okay.
you've rigged
Yeah.
up a hammock to the outside of the ship.
Does that work in
Oriented
zero
in the direction
G?
of thrust, so I get a little gravity.
Is it like a full cocoon in zero G?
That's amazing. Okay. All right, Bridget, do your last card.
Oh, it's a
I must spend
character.
6 hours a day. That's how long the oxygen tank lasts.
Oh.
The character connections card. You have great ideas, but Blake doesn't seem to appreciate your talents. I am going to say Evan doesn't appreciate my wonderful and obviously ingenious ideas.
Nice.
You keep coming up with like upgrades to how like
How things should work around the ship,
Yeah.
because obviously I know better and I have seen what will work. And if you would just institute my 17-point plan,
I was about to say. You're turning into like the Leslie Knope of space.
Yep.
Like, here's the binder on how things are going to be better.
Yes.
It's going to start with you working.
They have some. There's some suggestions. On Blaster Hill, the smart and the sexy, as the satellite rotates. CSI Alderaan, and then in the wilderness.
I kind of like the in the wilderness.
Okay.
I think that plays into the whole like, hey, maybe planets are somewhere I should visit someday thing.
Okay. Nice. And then my card, since it's the end of the round. What does the group believe is the punishment for evil deeds? And this card can be like what we believe happens like on our ship, what we philosophically believe, like whatever we think.
Well, I think part of because we're trying to resettle all these other planets, which maybe most of them aren't necessarily ready for habitation. Maybe it's almost like they're put onto a workforce for terraforming, which nobody wants to do. That's a lot of lifting heavy rocks.
yeah, I mean, haven't we automated this by now?
Nice. So you get put on terraforming duty if you are.
Or like exploration duty as we go through, because we haven't found our new planet yet. So it's like your first contact.
Oh yeah. Good luck.
Don't wear that red shirt today.
Yeah. Why don't we draw some of those planets on our map? And they can be in orbit, so we can make it so like we're heading that direction, but who knows? There you go. Perfect. That's fine. That's science.
That's why science works, right?
Yeah.
Well, if it was science, it'd be more like triangular in shape.
Nice. Okay. And what are the name of these other planets?
I drew them, you name them.
It's a good part.
I named the first one.
Yes.
Oh, I see how it is.
Hope 2 and 3.
Right.
The last one's despair.
Abandon all.
Last
Fear,
hope.
hate, suffering.
Yeah.
Let's go with. I don't know. Let's do. Discord. I'm not gonna.
Oh.
Did I fuck it up?
I think you're okay.
Okay, good. And
Eve.
let's go. Orpheus.
I like it.
Orpheus 5.
There.
The third
it's,
planet.
It's
Orpheus 5.
it's spacey now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Roman numerals make everything spacey. Or Roman.
Romans in space.
That's the next soap opera we're
the
gonna start.
Romulans?
Those gods can't get us now.
All right. So now we're on to our last round. So this is all the world dynamics cards. So we've gone through our randomly given location and character connection cards. So Dave, why don't you go first this time?
Yeah.
Oh no, he's
You notice
not.
after last time, no one is touching any cards at any time in this
Yeah.
Our group talked our way out of a serious situation. What was it and what happened?
I feel like we haven't touched on, since we are using like the traveler system, how different sections of space are controlled by different like kind of governments. So maybe it's like we accidentally, because we have shitty equipment and a really bad mechanic, maybe we strayed in the wrong place.
We took a shortcut.
I plotted us a much more efficient course
Oh, okay. Did you have another idea, Dave?
No.
Okay.
I like it.
through Usnav space.
Or we had no idea we crossed territory boundaries because the antenna. Right? So there's all, in the show, there's all those, like, there's a satellite with a bunch of signs on it.
Yeah.
And we're just driving on by. Like,
We have no idea.
It's a
There's
little-
like
Good.
the massive incoming communications, just mer, mer,
We can't beat Usta's space. On the map, it's all blue, and none of this looks blue to me.
Nice. I'm seeing like the Indiana Jones map thing, but in space with like the little
Yeah.
like little loop de loos and just wandering.
The Muppet
aimlessly.
Show version.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, the Muppet Show version, exactly.
I'm not convinced we aren't Muppets at this point.
Nice. Okay. Very good.
But I think, just, we, when they finally, sent a patrol ship or a picket ship or something, then, they got within close enough range that we could talk to them, and I think we talked our way out of that.
Okay.
Just by, look at us! Not a warship? What are you talking about?
We totally hailed them as our saviors,
Yeah.
and they
Right.
were like,
Oh, these idiots are
"Giving
definitely
you the
not.
boot.
Yeah.
Just go.
Just go that way. Just go that way."
Nice.
Oh my god, I love it.
All right, Pooja, why don't you go next?
Okay. There is another group outside that are our rivals. Who are they?
There's another ship
The competent ship.
that's actually good at it. Every once in a while, they pass us going back the other direction to pick up another load of people. And we're just like, how are they so fast?
I love it.
Yeah. That's very good. So you gotta draw them.
The other guys.
Other ship. They're going the other way. They know where to go.
Fair. They have a map. They're cheating.
Yeah.
They can actually communicate with people.
Working antenna.
We get close to them. We don't get our messages sent to us as an update from them. We just get a bunch of like, you guys suck. Like,
It's like, losers.
yeah, it's like a frat boy show.
Totally.
They communicate. They put like big banners on the side when they.
Oh man.
You suck.
You suck.
Oh man. That's been a year.
Yeah.
Okay. Each character should decide what tempts them to leave our group.
I like it.
I feel like everything.
Right.
Yeah.
Survival.
None of us, I don't think any of us like are that
No.
self-aware
No.
or like situationally aware.
No.
But I would say that I think that I'm too good for this ship. And of course, the next time they come by, the other ship will realize it, and I will be offered the chief navigator position there, and I will take it.
Okay.
Because I'm so much better than all of you.
Yes.
Every time they fly by, you're sending off receiving.
Right.
It's like, it's just a message. It's like, I've updated it since the last time.
3 more months on this ship.
It's another page of like additional skills.
Yeah.
At some point, just be out the window. Save me. I think it's for Elijah. I think it's the thrill of adventure. I think it's this is great and all, but what else is out there? It can't just be ferrying people around. This isn't the high fantasy sci-fi life I dreamt of. I'm ready to go fight aliens and discover strange new worlds, and this is playing babysitter.
I think for me, it's the idea of getting to a planet and maybe finding a home.
Aw.
Like that.
Yeah.
Okay. Very good. All right. Last card of this game. I'm going to X that one. We already talked about that. Never mind. Now, what do we do as a group when we are feeling down? Send out your CV.
Here's an idea.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe we play shuffleboard down the hallway with all the cryo capsules.
Yes!
So, like, all the evacuees are asleep, and it's
Okay.
just a couple of us that are actually awake on the ship.
Oh my god.
We're like, that is perfect. That's exactly the kind of thing I was thinking about. I was like, what kind of game could we play?
With the passenger. Like, yeah, that's perfect. That's so good.
Or it's like the one of us sits in an office chair and you try and push him and see how far you can get him
Except
without running into a cryo capsule.
the cryo capsule obstacle course.
Yeah.
We just fuck with the cryo capsules, just in general. We do all of those things.
It's a new game every
we
time.
wake somebody up for a minute and go, "We're there, we made it, you're so excited," and then we're like, "Oh, I lied." Close the lid.
Open someone else up, put a rubber mask on.
Aliens are taking the ship.
Oh god.
You're the only survivor.
You're our last hope. Like you leave the bloody hand,
Yes.
but it's actually just the food from the ship.
Oh my god.
It was the chef's last tomato.
Okay, so because I now imagine this is a TV show. That's how every episode opens. It's a
Oh yeah,
different
it's a
way
cold
we're
open
fucking
of
with.
messing with a different survivor.
Oh my god. Alright.
Just the cold open is like
Yeah.
just yet another.
Alright, so that was a wacky version of Decuma. That was the Priestess variant where you just hand out random cards and see what fate has in store for your campaign. And we made a wacky traveler TV show in low tech level. So very nice. If you are interested in this game, go to goldenlassogames.com/Kickstarter. So we are over 200% funded now. So and working towards our 5th stretch goal, which is more map assets based on sci-fi and horror artwork.
So the 2 genres we played today.
Yeah,
Yes.
exactly. And after that, we get our 6th stretch goal if we get to $25,000, and that is like gold printing in the box.
Ooh.
Yeah, which would be very pretty. And then if we get all the way to 30,000, we get gold on all the cards, like pretty shiny gold. I know it's gonna be pretty.
Oh, come on, people. We want shiny things.
Get to work.
Shiny things, do the thing. So awesome. All right. Any comments, questions from any of you? No.
It's just been so much fun seeing, because you kind of started the idea when we were playing Wild Talents, and
Yeah.
seeing where that started and where it's gone now in such a short amount of time is amazing.
Oh,
It's amazing.
yeah, it's fun.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I want to actually play this attached to a game
Yes.
Yeah.
because I've never gotten a chance. Like,
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
really?
yeah, all the games that have used it, I'm not in those games.
Right.
So it's
Because you
always-
GM.
Well, yeah, I know, but it's just like every experience for me has been this, like, we come up with an amazingly funny or cool or great story that I want to see go somewhere.
Yeah.
Ah,
I mean,
Campaign move on.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, there is the fair kind of drought coming up.
Yeah, but
but
he's
I'm
with
part of
us.
He's at fair.
Never mind.
Yeah. One of us.
All right, we can go
someday.
play this at fair.
Yeah.
Yeah, there
absolutely.
you go. You could play the traveler variant at fair. Oh,
Awesome.
that'd be fun.
Yep. Well, thank you so much for tuning in. If you have any other questions about Decuma, you can find me at Golden Lasso Games on most social media. You could also go to the Kickstarter page and ask questions there, make comments, back it while you're there, maybe. And yeah, goldenlassogames.com/Kickstarter. And we have a bunch of stuff coming up. Check out happyjacks.org/schedule for the schedule of different games that are coming up. And we will see you next time. Bye.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.